I also want to talk about some updates. So I'm going to wait for everybody to join in, but I'm basically going to be talking about what I think they're doing with the new Charger, as well as some of the other plans that Dodge have laid out for the year. I have some films, whatever you guys like better, to nickname or the truck. But I do have some big plans for it. I'm going to go over those plans first, and we'll talk just most likely doing, or their likely plans, which is what I've titled this video, because Dodge are very sneaky. So before I get into that, I want to let you guys know that I've got all my t-shirts in. I'm going to show you guys right quick. Merchandise has arrived. So I'm going to go ahead and switch off. Reason Wi-Fi always has issues. So in any case, merchandise has shown up. So if anybody who wants a t-shirt or wants a key tag or anything like that, I've got my first shipment here. So I'm going to show you guys. T-shirts are here. If you want a Driveway Demons t-shirt, I got a subscriber named Ral, and I believe Ral's t-shirt is right here. That's his extra large. I have another extra large already pre-sold, but there is one or two extra t-shirts in this stack. So if you guys want a Driveway Demons t-shirt, I have one or two available right now, and they're in stock, so they ship faster than if you buy them on the website as of right now. Once these are gone, then, if you order them on the website, it could take a week, maybe two, whereas these are a couple of days because they're already here. So again, if you guys want a t-shirt, Driveway Demons t-shirt has the branding in the back of the shirt as well. I'll show you guys right here without messing the shirt up too much. On the very back of the shirt, it has Driveway Demons. And then, of course, on the front, it has the logo. Very high quality company, and use Fruit of the Loom cotton. So these are really expensive shirts. Even though I'm charging $20 plus shipping, they come out to be about $23, $24. These shirts to buy plain in the store are going to be $15 anyway, but you're supporting the channel and you're getting a Driveway Demons t-shirt. And as you can see, they look really, really nice. It's a really nice t-shirt. I definitely have to give a shout out to the guys who make these shirts. Fantastic quality shirts. But yeah, I've got a couple here available. They're, like I said, that one's Ral's. That one's another one. So I have two, actually. I have two shirts that will be available. You can see the print quality is unbelievable. Very good quality shirts. They do a good job printing these. And they're pressed. So folded, cleaned, everything ready to go. I'm gonna have another shipment of shirts coming in, hopefully in the next week or so. Or I also have key tags, Mopar, No Car. So if you guys want to order your shirts, drivewaydemons.com. Support the channel. Tons of content coming for the Dirty Max, the Filthy Max, Mad Max, whatever we're calling it now. I'm going to call it Mad Max and Filthy Max. But a lot of content coming for that truck. There's still a lot of things coming for the Hellcat. You can see it looks great in the sun. And beside the Hellcat, you just see the difference in size. It's crazy. I love coming out here to having the car and the truck. The truck is a beast. So is the car. The car is super fast, obviously, but the truck is just massive, and it's only on a 3-inch right now. I'm debating whether or not to delete the bed rails. I don't know. I don't know if I want to delete these. I like them because you can strap things across the top, but I also have the bed cover and the rhino lining. So the truck is pretty good right now the way it's all set up. These are a pain to install, but once they're installed really good, you basically just, unclip it, and the whole cover just folds right back up. So it's a really, really good cover. Keeps the gas mileage up, if you ask me. You definitely don't want to be driving a truck with the tail bed open unless you got the tailgate lift down here. But this cover is really, really nice. I just don't know if I want to keep the rails. So let me know what you guys think. Should I get rid of the bed rails up here? I don't know. I like them, but I don't. I haven't decided yet. The truck would definitely be cleaner without them, if you ask me. But then again, it's not like they're dirty per se, but it's an added, trim that could possibly be deleted, make it look cleaner. I just come out here and love the truck. So my plans right now for the truck to lift it. I got to lift it. So basically I got a 6.5-inch lift going on the truck in the next 2 weeks. It's probably going to be like late next week. 6.5-inch lift. Right now it's got, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's got 2.5 or 3-inch riser blocks in the rear. And it has torsion keys in the front. The guy did it before me. So it's probably 3.5 in the front, 2.5 in the rear for a leveling kit, or it's 3.5 front, 3 in the rear. But either way, it's a 3-inch lift. When I go 6.5, I'm going to get 3.5 more inches. But not only that, these are only 34-inch tires. I'm going to be going with 37s. Now, if you look at a tire and a circumference of a tire, 3 inches more tire means the truck's going to go up another 1.5 inches. So with that being said, I'm probably going to get about 3.5 out of the suspension and another 1.5 out of the tire. So I'm going to get 5 more inches. 5 more inches is the truck's going to go up. So it's going to be pretty massive. If you look how big the truck is already, it's going to get 5 more inches of lift than what it has right now. So I would say the hood's going to sit up right about here. It's going to be big. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall and the truck's up to my chest. So you figure, I would say 5 inches is about like that. So it's going to be big. It's going to be really big. It already makes the Hellcat look like a midget. So, you know, Dark Knight, I absolutely hate chrome. I do not like chrome at all. But for some reason, maybe it's just me, the Denali trim, the door handles, and the grill on the Denali look good. The chrome trim on the Denali, in my opinion, looks very good, and I don't even like chrome. I hate it, but for some reason on the Denali, it works. Even chrome mirrors would work, and I don't know why, but there's something about the Denali that the chrome trim just works. I could be, you know, the only one saying this, but I just feel like it fits, but it only fits on the GMC, and it only fits on the Denali. Any other trim that has chrome on it, to me, looks really bad, but the way they've got the GM set up, it just, I guess it flows. I was going to black out the grill. I was going to do possible plasti dip, but I don't want to because I do like how that looks, and I don't know how it would look if it was all blacked out. I mean, I know it would be mean. I guess I could try it at some point or another just because it can be removed, although it'd be a pain in the butt to remove plasti dip off a grill like that. So maybe I'll buy a new grill, plasti dip that one, and then I'll have 2 of them. This way I can have options, because options are always good. Now, there is a lot of surface rust on the Mad Max, and I will show you. Just surface, though. Nothing's rotted, nothing's rusted, except the surface. I'm going to file this off or brush this off with a wire brush real good, and all the frame, when I get the lift done, I'm going to make sure I have some time while he's doing that to spray some rubberized undercoating, and I'm going to spray over where the other guy had already sprayed and continue spraying all the beams and everything and have everything's going to get coated. I'm going to definitely get up under here. See, there's more surface rust. I'm just going to brush that off, brush it off real good, and then recoat all that. I'm going to do the front and rear differentials. When they do the lift, same thing. I'm going to get under here and clean that up as well. It definitely needs to get cleaned up. It's not bad. It's just, it definitely has surface rust, and it needs to be cleaned up, if you ask me. I don't like my cars being dirty like that. It really, really bothers me. So when the lift goes on, I'm going to definitely want to clean everything up. Over the next couple of months, I'm going to getting everything under the truck brushed, coated, cleaned, all the suspension's getting done. I'm going to give this truck nothing but love. And like I said, it's a 2012, so it's not even old. The truck was sold, I think, when I checked out the reports on the truck, I think it's sold brand new in November of 15 or November of 12. So that means the truck is only 5.5 months or 5.5 years old. So November 12 to November 17 is 5 years, and here we are in the middle of 18. So the truck's 5.5 years old. That's really not old at all for a diesel. If I, you know, do the lift properly, get this done, clean the underbodies, coat everything the way it should be, and take care of the truck, this truck should last me as long as I want it to. I'll never outlast the truck. The truck will go forever. I mean, there's Duramaxes on the road, all original, that are from 15 years ago, and they're still in perfect condition. So they just last a long time. They really do if you take care of them, like anything else. But getting on to the updates for Dodge, like I've said in the title, Dodge are a really, really sneaky bunch of people in a good way. They like to lead us along and make us feel like we don't know what we're talking about. They like to have us in a position where we're reminiscing. That's what they want us to do. They want us to talk. They want us to basically just run around not knowing what's going on. They want us to bring up the possibilities and go far-fetched with ideas. They like this. They lead us to this, and they do it on purpose. So the likely possibility of Dodge's plans for summer of 18, especially August with the Woodward cruise, is that they're going to announce the updated horsepower in the Charger. I just believe that's a really good possibility. It's not a fact, and it's not something that I could say is for certainty, but I believe that it's an extremely high possibility. And basically the reason I feel this way is because Dodge has released the new Challenger with the snorkel intake, which has 717 horsepower. It's 10 more horsepower than the stock one. They say it's because of the intake on the hood. Now, the intake in the grille of the Charger performs just as well as the intake on the hood of the Challenger, I would imagine, and it feeds right to the intake as well. So, question one, why would they give them the same upgrades, but only one gets more power? Well, it's simple. You never put all your eggs in one basket. You wouldn't want to announce the Charger and the Challenger both getting an upgrade on the same day. What sense would that make? It desensitizes a drastic situation. You always want climatic things to happen, and you want them to happen in such a fashion that it doesn't burn growth. If you grow too fast, it's bad. So anybody who knows anything about marketing strategy or business ethics like that knows that you don't want to drop news on multiple things at the same time. It works like that with everything. You'll never see anybody announcing everything they have all at the same time because it makes no sense. So they released the Challenger with the 717 and the red eye, and they left it all to the Challenger. They're going to let that go crazy. There's a very good possibility at the Woodward Dream Cruise we're going to hear about the Charger, but there's also a very good possibility we will not, and we will not hear about the Charger until, you know, the New York Auto Show in February. It's more or less more likely we'll hear it at Woodward only because time is of the essence, and I don't think Dodge wants to just waste away 6 more months because they already know people are onto them and they're making big, you know, decisions for horsepower, huge horsepower engines. They already know this, so they may not milk it and let it go out till February. There's also a chance they will, but either way, I don't want to put Forbes under the bus, basically, by having them say that they're lying or something like that. But I want to tell you that Forbes has leaked the horsepower on the Charger for 2019 to be 717 like the Challenger. And that article was incorrect. People were saying, you know, that they're basically making a mistake. It's an error, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't an error because Forbes' article was to the T. It was 100% accurate in every way. Forbes' article was his most accurate article that you could possibly imagine on the Dodge lineup. They got everything right except the Charger. There's no way they made that kind of an error, you know, based on ignorance. The problem is they basically, you know, put something out they shouldn't have put out. And I'd imagine if you check Forbes out right now, it's probably still there, or they could have removed it. I don't know. But the Charger is definitely going to get some sort of upgrade, and Forbes leaked it, and they're a very, you know, reputable source for information. So I believe fully that either at the Woodward Cruise in August or in February at the New York Auto Show, the Charger gets the horsepower bump as well. I don't want to rehash old news, but I get a lot of people asking me countless times about the Durango. Okay, and I really am not going to keep talking about that because it's 5 months past. I understand that people want to know, but I've done countless videos, countless explanations, and countless posts about the vehicle. There's no need to even discuss it even right now. It's already been beaten to death. It's a dead horse that's been beaten to death. We keep going over the same things. I don't know if people are asking me this question because they just want to, you know, annoy me and they want to keep bringing it up. I don't know, but it just seems like no matter how many times I explain about it, they just continue to ask over and over again. It's gone. It's long gone. And that's it. It's done. The Durango's gone. There's no more content for the Durango. There's no more need for the Durango because the Durango basically has lived for its purpose. I did what I needed to do with the Durango. The only thing I didn't do was long tube headers and a tune, and the tunes aren't even available yet. And it's going to be a great day when the tunes are available. You know, it doesn't upset me when people ask about the Durango. It's just that I don't understand, you know, I probably get about 40 or 50 emails a week, messages and emails wanting to know where it is, and I don't understand because I've done multiple videos on it. But I understand people want to know. I love the Durango, and I love the vehicle, but I had no need for it on the channel anymore. I have other vehicles with content. I'm going to get a lot more content out of the Duramax than I would out of the Durango because, let's face it, I had done everything you could possibly do to the Durango besides a tune and headers and a supercharger, and you can't do a set of headers or a cam or a supercharger without a tune, and the tunes are still not available. I think HP tuners are starting to unlock it now, but I would have basically been 4 months with no content. So, you know, the same thing that Mike over at Street Speed 717. He had his Hellcat, and he only had it for 6 months and sold it, and people asked for months and months and months, where'd the Hellcat go? And, you know, it just happens. People like cars, and they want to know where they go. It's not, and I don't mean to come off strong when I say it. I just don't have, there's just nothing else left to talk about on that vehicle. But what I will do is if they ever release a Hellcat Durango, count me in. Definitely would look at that. I have looked at the Trackhawk, but I needed the Mad Max, so I picked that up. To be totally honest, I think that this is the perfect lineup for right now. And then when something big comes with the Hellcat, I'll trade in. Now, I want to let you guys know that if the Hellcat doesn't get a power increase, which I'm almost for certain it will, and it will get the wide body, and it will get the 426, all the things I told you it'll get, it's going to get. But hypothetically, even if it does get those things, you know, I might trade in for the new Hellcat, but there's also a possibility I might, you know, get the new GT500. The problem is the GT500 is most likely not going to get unveiled until the 2019 New York Auto Show in February, which means it won't go into a bank order date until September of 2019. So that's a year and 2 months from now. So I'm either will keep the Hellcat till September of 19. I could trade for a new one and then trade it out for the GT500. I don't know where things are going right now, as I love the car and have no plans on selling it, but I've also looked at a Corvette. There's a very good possibility I could sell the Hellcat for a C7 Z06, or I could end up selling it for a Trackhawk. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how much sense it would make to get a Trackhawk, considering I already have the Mad Max and the Hellcat. One truck, one car, so I'd want to trade for a car. So it's either going to be another Hellcat, a GT500, or a Corvette. There's a very good possibility that I might get the Corvette. For maybe if things go the way I plan, maybe in the spring, in March or April, I get the C7. I'll keep it till maybe November, and then I'll sell it for the GT500. Don't know yet, but we'll see what happens. The new Hellcat, I haven't decided yet. Don't even know what I would do with those vehicles at this point in time. But just basically looking things over, I would say that, you know, I have no plan on getting rid of the Hellcat. I really don't. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the coming year. There's a lot of things that I do want to bring to the channel. The subscriber growth is unbelievable right now. I'm at 16,200 plus. At the rate that I'm going right now, it'll only be a week before I'm at 16,500. Then comes 17,000 right after that. So the way things are looking is by the end of August, I will be in the high 18s, low 19s. I'll be knocking on the door of 20,000 by the September area, and by the time Christmas comes around, it shouldn't be hard to have 30,000. So the channel is growing very rapidly, and once I get the channel to where it needs to be, I'm going to give you guys all kinds of content. My goal is to get 2 new cars every year, trade them out, there'll be new stuff all the time, and stuff that you guys can relate to, not just not just high-end stuff or just one brand. I plan on getting a Corvette at one point or another. An Evo might even come to the channel. I may even pick up another Duramax. Have 2 Duramaxes. I don't know, but there's a lot of different vehicles. I like the AMG Mercedes. I might pick up a BMW M3 or M4. I just plan on, rotating the cars in and out, building them, of course, doing mods to them, making them go fast, racing them, having fun with them, getting another car. This way you guys always got something new, something to compare. It'll be fun. Definitely a lot of fun. So that's basically the plan right there for the channel. But like I was saying on the Mad Max, I don't know if you guys can see that good a quality, but I don't like chrome, but these handles are nice. There's something about the chrome on the Denali that I like. Doing the door handles and the trim in chrome was very nice touch from GM. Like I said, I hate chrome. Like, I don't like these at all in chrome. I just don't like them at all. But the handles, I absolutely love them. They're fantastic. I could always plasti dip them, but I don't know yet. I like the tinted headlights. I think that it adds a lot of character to this truck. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunset here at the Jersey Shore. I might wrap them carbon fiber. It wouldn't be too hard. The door handles, I would imagine, would be a pain in the damn ass to wrap. They probably would have to remove this portion of the handle, wrap the other piece, and wrap this off the car and put it back on. But I do like this trim. Now, this right here on most vehicles is chrome, and I hate that. I can't stand it when they have window trim that's chrome. So I'm glad the Denali keeps the black trim up there, because too much chrome gets to be a pain in the ass. You think my channel is getting boring? My channel hasn't changed much in the last 6 months as far as content. So if you think my channel is boring now, you must have thought it was boring before. Either that, or you're pretty much a Durango SRT fan, because my channel content's actually better than it ever has been before. I've been racing Mike's McLaren. I've got a new truck. I've got a Type R. I got a Hellcat. So anybody who thinks my channel's boring now must be a Durango SRT fan, because the only thing that I've basically lost out on over the past 4 months is Durango content. So, I mean, it doesn't disrespect me. I mean, I don't know how to, respond to something like that, but I've put out a ton of content over the past couple of months here. So, as far as the Hellcat, I am working on GTOS exhaust. There is definitely a GTOS exhaust hopefully coming. I'm trying to sell the Corsa, but I gotta talk to John over there at GTOS. That's next. And then I got to get up with Josh this week and finalize the McChicken Killer tune to make sure it's good. And so in the next week or so, that'll be done. And me and Mike will be racing again in Mexico. And then after the race in Mexico, Mike and myself are working on some Dirty Max content. It's going to be Mike's Dirty Max versus my Mad Max. We're going to be doing some content there. So lots of good stuff coming on those. Like I said, another merch plug. If you guys want your t-shirts, I've got a couple spare t-shirts here. If you guys want them, you order them on the website. As long as I have them in hand, which I do right now, they'll ship out tomorrow. So if you want a shirt and you don't want to wait, this is the time to order it. I have a small inventory here, and they'll ship out tomorrow if you order them today on the website. Any other time, they're still fast. It's about a week, but this is several days faster because they're here in hand. So you want a shirt, drivewithdemons.com. Also, I highly suggest, if you want a key tag that says Mopar No Car, I highly suggest ordering those on drivewithdemons.com ASAP, because I've been getting a bunch of orders for those already, and the key tags arrive on Wednesday. So 3 days, the key tags will be here, and they're almost half sold. And once they're sold out, you won't be able to get a key tag. And based on what I'm hearing from Chris over at Motoloot, it could be another 3 weeks before I get key tags, maybe even longer. So if you don't order before they're sold out, you could be waiting up to 3 weeks or a month to get the next batch here. So if you want to get your key tags, they're in the store. They're like 10 bucks. drivewithdemons.com. You get the Mopar No Car key tags, and they have the Drive with Demons logo on them. They're very well designed. Chris did a fantastic job designing them. You guys will absolutely love them. I showed Mike the key tags, and he loves them too. So he even said they're sick. So if you want a key tag, I'd order them now because they're selling like crazy, and I've sold almost half of them. I only have 50 of them coming in on this batch, and I sold like 23 or 24 of them. So if things keep going the way they're going, in a week, there'll be none left. When they get here, they're already going to be sold almost. So if you guys want one, now would be the time to do it. And then the next batch I'll announce when they come here. So you're going to love them. If you order them, you're going to love them. I'm going to probably put one on each of my key tags and hold them myself, hold them hostage for myself. But yeah, there's a lot of plans coming for the Charger. I still have a lot of things I want to do to the Hellcat. Besides racing Mike, of course, there's other things I want to do. If I beat the McLaren, which I should, as long as the tune is right, my next step is to work on possibly doing a 265 pulley, pinning the crank, and running race fuel on that tune, because a 265 on race fuel is worth about 900 wheel. So there's no chance for, you know, a ZR1 or a McLaren at that horsepower unless Mike goes ahead and does his upgraded tune. And then I'm going to need the 900 horsepower, but Mike and me are going to have some fun on that run. And I've even thought about wrapping the mirrors carbon fiber on the Hellcat. I've thought about wrapping the whole car, to be honest, like a Destroyer Gray color. I really like that. Destroyer Gray has become like the new niche. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but even Hyundais come with a Destroyer Gray-like color. It's not Destroyer Gray, but it looks the same, or very similar. So I thought about wrapping it satin black. I thought about wrapping it Destroyer Gray. I've thought about doing a bunch of different things, and I haven't like settled on any one color yet. But I definitely am going to be doing something with the Hellcat wrap related. I'm just not entirely sure. Yeah, Jonathan, I'm hoping the fuel pump holds up. The stock fuel pump, people have had problems with the stock fuel pump on a stock Hellcat. So I don't think it's gonna, you know, necessarily be anything relative to the tune or to the pulley. There's guys that are running 900 horsepower on a stock pump, no problem. There's also guys that are bone stock and the stock pump blows. So I think it was inevitable. It was happening way before the tune. The pump was actually giving me rough starts. If you guys go back to my older videos, you'll see some of the rough starts, and I talked about it. And then that issue was completely resolved when I replaced the pump. So the pump is good. I just got to get it back on the dyno, do a few runs, and do another few runs after that, and we're good. If I can get out to see Josh at HHP for an afternoon, we're ready to kill the McChicken. I still honestly don't know if I can beat the McLaren. I think there's a really good chance of it. But Mike and I always have a blast every time we do videos, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, it is running good. I'm just reading questions right now. Oh, okay. Dove Shack asked about the Durango. Yeah, I got rid of it a while back. The Durango has been gone since, oh man, I want to say the Durango's been gone since February, end of February, beginning of March. So we got the Hellcat, the Mad Max, and for now, the Type R. So yeah, that's the channel right now. Be sure to check out drivewithdemons.com. Get some merch there. Support the channel. Got t-shirts in stock, like I said, and Motoloot key tags here that are coming on Wednesday that say Mopar No Car. But to recap today's video, I got the plans to undercoat the Denali Mad Max. I definitely want to undercoat the truck and fix that up. So that's what I'm going to be planning on doing. As far as the lift, you look at it right now. If you're just joining us, it has a 3-inch lift. Well, 3.5. I think it's 3.5 front, 2.5 rear to level it out. But it's really only a 3.5-inch lift. I'm putting a 6.5. They're probably going to overcrank that a little bit higher. I think they get a little extra than 6.5. I don't know exactly, but you know, it's going to be 6.5 plus. So that's going to put the fender. If you see the fender's right about here, it's going to go up about here. So I'm going to get a big portion of the lift is going to be going to BDS. So you figure 3.5 or 3 to 6.5 is a lot, and then 3.5-inch or 34-inch tires to 37 is another 1.5 inches. So I'm going to get about 3.5 more inches on the suspension, and then on the tires, I'm going to get another 1.5 inches. So that means the body is going to go up 5+ inches. So it's going to be pretty big. I would anticipate to see the bumper probably about here. So it's going to be a big lift. The truck's going to be huge. If you look at it right now, it's already huge compared to the Hellcat. it's going to be a lot bigger with the lift on. Yeah, Ed, I could definitely park the Type R under it. But it's a beast. It really is a beast. And I absolutely love it. And I had to do some work to the Mad Max because the guy who had it before me, he had told me how a deer, and I hate how this cutting cream gets in there. I got to get that out. But he told me how he hit a deer, and the deer bumped the headlight and broke a tab and also dented the bumper. Thank God the bumper on the Mad Max is steel and reinforced, so it didn't damage anything. But I had to reline the headlight. Now, I used to run a body shop, so I was able to do that. You can see it lines up perfectly with the headlight. So, and you'll see here, it's perfectly gapped. It wasn't like that when I bought the truck, straight up. It was not anywhere near this good. When you look at the side that was never had a broken tab or never had an issue, see how the light lines up completely? It's perfectly straight. And then right here, same thing, perfectly straight, like a little bit of a gap between. And if you look over here again, the one I fixed, it's perfectly straight. Everything lines up. So, you know, you can look at that. It was a lot of work. It took me 3 hours, but there's a geometry to a car, and you have to understand how to line things up. Like if your car has ever been in an accident, underneath the hood, you usually have 4 corners. We have your rad support. There's bolts up here, bolts here, and then you have your strut tower. A lot of guys that run body shops, they run a measurement from the strut tower to the rad support up here, and that's incorrect when you're trying to fix a frame that may have a bent post, or what we call them rails, the rails that come up that hold the motor mounts and shit, and then you got your front post that goes across that connects to those rails. The problem is that when you want to square, now the military uses this term a lot, squared away, and there's a reason for it. They call it a squared circle in wrestling. There's a reason for that. When you want to square up a car, you want everything to be squared, there's a reason for that name. You're going to run a measurement from a strut tower here over to the rad support over here, and you're going to do it in a box, an X that squares the 4 corners. And when you do those measurements, if let's say I measure from the passenger firewall, strut tower to the rad support, and then I measure the driver second. If the driver is an inch shorter, then that means that that rail is pushed in or the rad support is off over here. Then you can measure rad support to rad support, and if it's indeed shorter than the book says it's supposed to be, then somewhere up here something's going on, especially if you measure from over here to over here and there's nothing wrong, then that means you've got something going on over here or over there. It can get a little bit tricky when you're measuring, but by understanding the geometry of a vehicle and a structured frame, you can repair any vehicle no matter how bad the damage is, because let's face it, if a car ever gets totaled, most body shops will claim it totaled. They don't do that because it's unrepairable. They do that for money purposes and shit like that. So don't ever get fooled by the insurance company. If you ever get damage where you've got to pull the engine out and the trans out, fenders and rad support and everything out, and you got to cut the firewall, you can definitely put new beams in, new rad support. You can measure. There's guys that have these winches that are built into the ground, and you put them on your frame. They drill into your frame, and then they put a chain on it, and it pulls the frame. They straighten everything out, and once they're done, they weld the hole shut. They grind everything down, they reseal, reprime, re-straighten everything, they put the bars back on, they put your engine back in, you're good to go. So you really don't have to worry. And there's no such thing as too much damage on a car when it comes to being able to fix it. If you find the right shop and the guys know what the fuck they're doing, you can fix anything. So I went on a tangent there, but yeah, as you guys can see, the light is perfectly squared up. Everything is square, everything is good. You got to take your time when you're working on cars. The headlight on the Hellcat didn't line up when the dealer put the bumper back together. But as you can see right now, everything is straight. You look at this side, everything is square. And the reason it's square is because I had to put time into the car to make sure it's square. There's a lot of things that guys don't understand. For one, people who put splitters on their Hellcats, they're tearing them off. The reason they're tearing them off is because they're not using rods, and I think rods are fugly. They're absolutely ugly. I don't like rods in the front of my car at all. I just don't like it. It's tacky. So the proper way to install these, you have to understand basically, if you're installing a splitter on a Hellcat, there's a plastic subframe type deal in here that's very, very tough. And you're going to want to not just drill this in to those. There's other spots. They want you to basically bolt this to the splash guard. Yeah, rice rods. They want you to bolt this into the splash guard so this flaps up and down and then shreds off. Now, the way I have my splitter on the Hellcat, if you look, I've got 5 of these, and they're 30-inch bolts with washers, and they go into a hard piece of plastic in here. So it goes basically bolt and washer, then a washer on the inside on both sides. Then on the other side of the plastic in here, another washer and another nut. There's 5 of them across here holding the middle solid. Then it's bolted to the 10 splash guard bolts. And then on top of that, I drilled right here. And you can see that's going into the bumper as well as this. So I've got 2 spots over here. And that really does help big time, especially this one right here that you can see. And the only thing is people do that and it rips their bumper. You never want to put a small washer and bolt in the plastic because it'll make the plastic, you know, dip. It'll rip out because there's not enough contact surface here. So what I've done is I've gotten a piece of sheet metal about that long and about twice as wide and about that thick, and I've lined the whole inside of the bumper, then put a massive washer and nut. So there's so much contact surface, you can see there's nothing stretching in there. There's rocks in there I got to clean out, but you can see there's no stretching going on in the bumper because this whole side is reinforced with steel so that the bumper won't flex, and that allows my splitter to not move. And I try to explain that to people when you're doing body work. Things have to be reinforced and done properly. The only reason why rods get put in the front is to make it easier. And some people like the look of it. I don't think it's, you know, my taste. I would never hate on somebody for doing it, but I just do not like the look of a Hellcat with rods in the front and would never do it to any of my vehicles. I mean, rods might be okay on an Evo or maybe a Supra, possible. But you'd never see me do stuff like that to a Hellcat. It just wouldn't happen. I appreciate that, Ed, that you're starting to like the truck. I'm really digging the truck. What I like the most about the truck, though, I hate chrome too, buddy. I don't like it. But on the Denali, it seems to go pretty well. I'm opening up the door because I just... Like, you have to really see this to see how high it is to me. I'm 6 foot tall, and I'm holding the phone at my face. So you can see how high the truck sits. Like, the average person is like 5'10", so this is what it would look like to the average person. I've lowered the phone. So if you're kind of like walking out to the truck, imagine you're an average person like 5'10". Right now the phone is about the 5'10" level, so, or 5'9"-ish. So a regular person, you're like walking out to the truck. This is what it would look like. And this is only 3-inch lift. Well, then again, these tires are 1 3/4 inches bigger. So it's a 3-inch lift plus 3/4 of an inch. So it's about almost a 4-inch, but we're going to go from 4-inch to 8-inch. So the lift is going to double. So you can see how big the truck is right now walking up to it. When I raise the truck, it's going to go from 34 tires to 37, and the lift is going to go from 3 to 6.5 or more. So the seat, you know, to the average person is going to look right about here, but now the seat's probably going to be up like that. So that means my step won't be here. It'll be like up here. So even me being 6 foot tall, I'm going to have to really step to get in my own truck, which I think is badass. I got some other things I have to fix on the Mad Max. One of these things are the lights. You guys never heard of Amp Research? They have some of the best electronic steps for trucks. They're fucking awesome. Problem is their LEDs are all burnt out, so I got to check the wiring, get the LEDs back and functioning. You can see there's not a whole lot of rust. Everything's been coated once before, so everything looks clean. I just got to fix that. But the interior is really mint. This tear in my seat is the only issue in the entire truck, literally. If you look at the seats, there's absolutely zero issue anywhere. There's no tears, no issues anywhere. Nothing's damaged. Everything is pretty much spotless. And I love the titanium type trim it has with the wood grain. It's absolutely fantastic. I think it looks pretty awesome. No, Alan, I'm 6 foot. Mike at Street Speed is about 5 foot. I think he's about 5'8", 5'9". That's not me guessing, but no, I'm 6 foot tall, man. This is when I go into my truck. This is my eye view right here. This is what I see. This camera's held right in front of my eyes right now. So when I walk out to my truck, this is how tall I am. So I'll even give you guys a virtual thing. This is my view, and then the average person would be right about here, I'd imagine. So if I look short to the truck, you can imagine how short, you know, someone else would be. I'm 6 foot and the truck way bigger than me. I have to step up to the truck. And like I said, it's going up another 5 inches. So it's going to tower over me. And I'm not a tall guy. 6 foot's not that tall. 6 foot is, I mean, actually, to be honest, 6 foot's probably just barely above average. I'm not a tall guy, really, when you think about it. But I mean, you look at me and I'm 6 foot in the truck, you know, I don't know what angle I would show you guys, but the truck is pretty big. On a level like that, that shows you guys how big it is. If I stand right beside it, it might be better. I'm standing as high as I can against the truck, and I'm 6 foot, so it's about 6.5 feet to the roof of the truck. It's gonna be about 7.25 when I'm done with everything, so that's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I love these fuel wheels, I'm keeping them. I just haven't decided if I want to get another set of trail grapplers from Nitto, or if I want to get the ridge grappler. See, the trail grapplers are better in mud, but the ridge grapplers are better in dry, better in launching, better for speed, better for cornering, better for rain, better for winter. They're better in every way. The only thing the trail grappler's better at doing than the ridge grappler is straight sand and mud, which I do plan to do, but the ridge grapplers are going to be quieter and more comfortable, significantly more so. These are, I forget which ones these are. I think these are the D240s or D460s. I can't remember the code name for them. But let me go over. I was trying to talk, but I was just fucking like reading. Alan, you got me laughing, bro. I'm laughing over here. I'm literally, my brain, I can't even think about what I was going to say because I'm laughing at your fucking comment about my knees being bent. Oh my God. That was super funny. So I will show you, but these are the fuel. I can't remember which wheels are. I think they're like the DS240s or DS460, something like that. I'm just guessing because I remember seeing them, but I can't remember the exact model that they were. I think they're 20 by 9, which means the widest tire I could really go with on a 9-inch wheel is maybe I could get away with 295, 305. So the skinniest wheel Nitto makes in a ridge grappler is 37 by 12.5. 12.5 across is about 312 millimeters. So that would be the equivalent, I guess, of putting 315s on a stock Hellcat wheel. You can do it. They say the minimum wheel is 8.5 and mine's a 9. So I could get away with that. And they don't make it any skinnier tires. So you figure right here it's flush. These are only a 10.98. These are 11-inch. I'm going to get an 1.5 inch wider tires. So you figure it's going to basically come off about an 1.5 inches more in width. Is about 3/4 of an inch on each side. So the tires are probably going to come up to about here. I'm going to have a little bit of bulge, but I can get away with them. So I like these, but they're choppy because the alignment's out. I'm getting new ones. The dealer owes me new tires. So the trail grappler's a nice tire, but the ridge grappler is a better tire. Jonathan, I agree, some bulge is good. The only thing is, let me get your guys' opinion on this. These are a 9-inch wheel. Do you think I could get away with 13.5? Do you think I could do a 37 by 13.5? That's a really wide tire. That's 3.5 more inches in width on the same tire. That would give me about 1 3/4 inches, which would be out, the tire would be out to there. I truly believe that 12.5 is probably max. So 37 by 12 and a half ridge grapplers are what I'm putting on here, along with the lift. Yeah, and by the way, Alan, here's my knees. Look, see? Look. My knees are not bent. See, straight. No bending in the knees. I'm gonna walk perfectly straight. See, I'm walking straight up. See, if I had bent knees, it would look like that. But there's my knees right here, and I'm standing right beside the truck. I'm 6 foot, so yeah, the truck is huge, and I like a bulge on a woman's rear end too. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys are gonna love what comes to the channel for the Mad Max. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The Hellcat has 3 tasks at hand: beat the McChicken. Then I got to get some wrap done, and a few other things. Then we'll see what comes after that. Let's see. Oh, the tires on the Hellcat. Yeah, the kids are going to need a rope ladder, Frost, for sure. My son loves getting up in the truck. He absolutely loves it. In fact, he likes the truck more than the Hellcat. The tires on the Hellcat are stock for the fronts, but extreme contacts for the rear. You can see with all that horsepower, these are sticky. A lot of people say they're not sticky, but you guys can see these are very sticky tires. Like, look. Get up close. You can see how they're kind of, they still got rock stuck to them. They're very sticky tires, and they're worth the money. They really are. These tires are $350 a piece. They balance nice. They're smooth. They're comfortable. They're good in the dry. They're good in the rain. They handle really good for a summer tire in the rain, and they provide good traction. If your Hellcat stock or just bolt-ons and you don't have a tune or you don't have a pulley or anything like increasing the boost and you're relatively stock, these tires will hold you no problem. They have serious advantages over running a drag radial from Mickey Thompson or Nitto. And one of those advantages and such is the fact that they balance better, they're quieter, they have longer tread life, and they're way better in the rain. You cannot drive a Nitto NT555R in the rain. Ask me how I know. I've been racing for years. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I can tell you that I would never run a drag radial on the street in the rain. Ever run drag radial on the street in the rain. It's a nightmare. Now, as far as $350 a tire social, that's not even a lot. The tires I'm getting, the Ridge Grappler tires for the Duramax, are going to be $416 a piece. So yeah, it's crazy. Why is Mike nuts? Oh, I missed that if someone was saying something about Mike. But as far as tires, they're expensive on the truck, I'll tell you what. Yeah, we definitely got to do, oh, yeah. I don't know if Mike did do that, maybe. That is, I remember that. You got to be careful because back in the day, I drove my Mustang. Yeah, I agree, Frost. I'm going to need a drag radial. Basically, I had my Mustang. You guys are going to laugh at this. A long story short, I was living down south. We got some rain, and I had to drive home 74 miles in the snow, in the Mustang. And I had NT555s, not the Rs. I had the regular street Nitto NT555 on the Mustang, and it was putting down 500 wheel. It took me 3 hours to drive 70 miles. Actually, it was more like 4 hours. Alan, the tires for the truck are going to be $400 a piece. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I do like the tires on the Hellcat, and I do like the tires on the truck. The tires in the truck are pretty badass, but 34s are kind of small. And when I get, the fender comes up and I raise the truck, it's going to be even more of a gap. So the tires are going to come to about there. It's going to be like that. So it'll help look better on the truck. 34s are going to look kind of tiny. I'd like to run 38s, but it's just not possible because 38s only come in 13.5 wide. These wheels are not wide enough, but once my subscriber count gets up to 30, 40,000, hopefully by New Year's, I might order a set of fuel wheels that are 20 by 12, which will allow me to put a 14-inch tire on them and offset them. So the tires will come out to about here. I'm also going to be getting fender flares at some point that are going to go on. So with fender flares, the flare will come out to about here and the tire will come out to there. So it'll be really, really nice. You can see these tires stick out perfectly the way they are. I absolutely love them. Might even space the front out a little more because I think the backs stick out more than the fronts do. Could be wrong, but I think they do. If you look at it the angle like this, they're almost about the same. But with the fender flares, it's not going to look as good because the flares are going to come to about here. So they're going to be about on par with the tires. So I'm going to need the tires to be wider at some point. That'll come. But like I said, a lot of things coming. Oops, my phone locked me out. Okay, never mind. There we go. I was trying to read comments and got myself locked out. Thanks, Social. Yeah, I definitely have to make that decision. But the plans for the Mad Max are fender flares, 6.5-inch lift, 37-inch tires, possibly wider tires and wheels in the near future, fix the LEDs, fix the surface rust, and enjoy it and tow this beast right here, which I have plans for as well. The cab lights are one of my favorite additions. I'll show you guys what it looks like right around sunset. It's absolutely fantastic. There we go. I think the cab lights, yeah, the cab lights are on now. I think you guys are going to like it. Thanks, Frost. What do you guys think of the cab lights? I think that's one of my favorite features of the truck, and I'm glad this truck came with GM's optional cab lights. It totally makes the truck look more tough and more rugged. What do you guys think? Definitely a beast. Definitely a beast. And I want to thank you guys for watching all my live feeds and updates and you know, following every video I post and commenting and you know, you guys are awesome. Like I said, there's tons of stuff coming. Every day I'm working on new content for the channel. Always have, always will. And I agree, John, it definitely makes it more like HD-like. Yeah, I love the lights. Someone had said to take these off, but I like them. Someone said to take the Z71 stickers off, and you know, I think it would look very clean without them. I really do think it would look awesome without them, but I think it looks even better with them. There's just something about the Z71 stickers, in my opinion, that set it off with the red the way it is. Thanks again, Frost. I really appreciate it. But you can see, if I was to zoom in, you can see how big the truck is. This is exactly what I see from here. Like, it's just insane how big it is. I love it. I'm still getting used to it because I've never had a truck this big before, and I love it. I've always loved the Duramaxes. So that's going to do it for today's live vlog. I agree. Red on black always looks great. That's why I've got red and black and then white over here. My first black vehicle on the channel, or yeah, right. No, my knees are not bent. But yeah, this is the first vehicle I've had on the channel that wasn't white. The Durango was white. The Hellcat's white. The Type R is white. My BMW before that was white. A lot of white. Had to break the monotony. If I get a Cork, the orange, I don't know, the best white vehicle that I have on the channel. I don't know. We'll see. I might bring it to Menlo. Maybe. Also, the lights. Oh my God, the lights. I forgot to show you guys that. Here, let me lock it and show you guys what it looks like locked or unlocked. Oh, the door. There we go. I like the ring. It looks orange in the video, but it's straight red. Like, straight red. Yeah, it does burn some smoke. It definitely burns smoke when I get on it. Not as much as I'd like, but it definitely does with the tune. I just love the lights on the truck. Everything looks awesome. What I need to figure out is how to get the cab light to turn on, or the bed light, my bad. The bed light, I have to turn that on without turning the dome lights inside on. There's got to be a way I can switch it to turn that on whenever I want. So I got to figure that out. That'll be for a video as well. Jonathan, I definitely will not sell the Hellcat. The Hellcat is staying for a while. Yeah, black looks atrocious when it's dirty. But I'll definitely, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you know you're joining late or you don't know what I said at the beginning, rewatch the video. When this video goes live, be sure to watch it again, leave some comments, thumbs up. I got some content coming this week. My brother is going to drive the Mad Max. My dad's going to drive it. He's going to react to it. I'm going to take my dad for the first time in a 1,000 horsepower Hellcat. So 2 videos this week to come on that. But I will tell you guys that I'm having a lot of fun with the truck. I got a lot of stuff coming. Check out drivewaydemons.com. If you're just joining or have just joined recently, check this video out again when it goes to my YouTube channel and actually posts there, so you could read, or excuse me, listen and hear what I talked about with Dodge and their plans for this summer going into this winter. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. DriveWithDemons.com. We'll see you on the next upload. Thanks again so much. You guys are awesome. Share the channel with everyone. The videos, got to grow the channel. Got to get the subscriber count going higher so we get more vehicles for the channel. And Dad will roast the tires. Later, Ed, Social, Frost, Jonathan, Speed Demon, John, Allen, everybody in here. Thanks so much for watching. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, guys. Have a great night.